if I consider 3 decimal place, I want to get same answer. Then I can able to stop the iteration. The 3 decimal point will have same number, so that I can able to stop my iteration. When I substitute the answer in my f of x, and if I get positive answer, what I want to do? Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new session on roots of equation. I am Revati, faculty from the Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, first grade college, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. So dear student, before going to start my today's session, let me to recall the topic which I have covered in my last session of this unit. So dear student, I started with bisection method. Along with that, I solved some problems. So what is the formula of bisection method? That is 1 by 2 a plus b. And what are the condition? You need to remember, that is if f of x1 greater than 0, then it is nothing but the positive number. Then what I want to do? I want to change b into x1. If another condition, f of x1 less than 0, then it is nothing but the negative number. Then so what I want to do? I want to change a and I want to keep b as it is. So these are the certain condition as well as the formula you need to remember while solving bisection method problems. But in my today's class, once again I am going to solve 2 more problems under bisection method. That means I am going to solve 2 more problems by using bisection method. Along with that, I am going to deal with what is regular falsie method and how to solve regular falsie method. That means how to solve some of the problems by using regular falsie method. Anyway, dear student, let's start with the question number 3. Because in my previous session, I solved first problem as well as second problem, but in my today's session, I'm going to discuss third problem. Now, what's the question I have here? That is, using bisection method, find the real root of x log x base 10 equal to 1.2 lying between 2 and 3, carry out 3 iteration. So what is the equation I have? And I'm going to write that is in the form of f of x. So x log x base 10 equal to 1.2. And in the question, they mentioned that the root lies between 2 and 3. So the root lies between 2 and 3. And where I want to stop, when I reach third iteration, I want to stop my process. So in the question, they have mentioned what's the equation, what is the root, and when I want to stop the iteration. Now, let me to solve this problem. Now, first what I want to do, I want to write this equation in the form of f of x. So what I will do, let f of x equal to x log x base 10 minus 1.2, and what is my first root? That is 2, and what is my second root? That is 3. So this is nothing but my negative value and this is nothing but my positive value. That means when I got -3, then root lies at 2. And when I got positive value, then root lies at 3. So, the root lies between 2 and 3. Now, I am going to write the iteration 1. So, what is the formula? x1 equal to half 2 plus 3. So, it is 5 divided by 2. So, 5 divided by 2 in the sense what? It is 2.5. Now, what I am going to do? I am going to substitute this x1 in my f of x. So, I am going to substitute this x1 in my f of x1. After substituting, I am going to get the answer, that is minus 0.2, which is negative number. So, which is negative number. So, what I want to do, if it is negative number, what I want to do? I want to change A value and B remains as it is. And if I consider this question, root lies between 2 and 3. So, here 2 is nothing but A and 3 is nothing but B. Now, this is my negative number. So, what I want to do? I want to change A and B remains same. So, what is A here? It is 2. Now, I want to change 2 with 2.5 because this is my x1. So, I am going to change 2.5 and B remains as it is. B is how much? It is 3. So, 3 remains as it is. Now, in my second iteration, once again, I am going to apply bisection formula. So, what is the formula? Half A plus B. So, what is A? It is 2.5 plus what is B? It is 3, and when I divide, I am going to get 2.75. Now, I am going to substitute this one in my f of x2. And when I substitute, once again, I am going to get negative value. So, it is minus 0.008. So, it is negative value, that is minus 0.008. So, it is negative value. If it is negative, what I want to do? I want to change A. I want to change A. So, the root lies between, instead of writing 2.5, I am going to change it to 2.75 and B remains as it is. Once again, I am going to apply bisection formula, that is half of 2.75 plus 3. And when I divide, I am going to get 2.875. And I am going to stop the iteration because in the question, they directly mentioned that when I want to stop my iteration, that is when I reach my third iteration, I want to stop. So, I am going to stop. So, dear student, what are the things you have to remember here while solving problems using bisection method? That is the formula half A plus B. And you will get two conditions. One is positive number and one is negative number. If I am getting positive number, then what I want to do? F of x1 equal to. If I am getting positive number, then what I want to do? A remains as it is and I am going to change B. If it is negative, then I am going to change A value and B remains as it is. These are the formula and condition you must know while solving problem by using bisection method. Now, I am having one more solved problem, that is Using bisection method, find a real root of equation, that is e to the power x minus x equal to 2, which lies in the interval 1, 1.4. Correct to 3 decimal place. So dear student, in the question they mentioned that the root lies between 1 and 1.4, and when I want to stop the iteration, so when I'm going to get correct to 3 decimal place, that means whatever the result I'm going to get, I want to consider the 3 decimal place, and when I want to stop, when I have correct 3 decimal place, that means in both the iteration, if I consider 3 decimal place, I want to get same answer, then I can able to stop the iteration. So dear student, in the question, suppose if they did not mention the interval, then what we have to do? That is, we have to use trial and error method. That means we have to start substituting x value. So x starts from 0, x1, 2, 3 up to n. And when I have to stop, when I get two result, that is one is negative and one is positive. When I get two opposite sign, then I have to stop substituting x value. But in this question, I have roots as well as I'm going to have the information that when I want to stop the iteration. Now, let's solve this question. That is, first what I want to do, I want to write the equation in the form of f of x. Now, in the question, they have specified the root lies between 1 and 1.4. So, first I am going to substitute f of 1 equal to e to the power 1 minus 1 minus 2. That is nothing but e to the power minus 3. And I am going to get minus 0.28. So dear student, you must familiar with calculator. That means how to use calculator to get the correct answer. So it is better to use scientific calculator. Then I am going to have my next root, that is 1.4. So f of 1.4, that's nothing but e to the power 1.4 minus 2, and I'm going to get 0.66. So this is my negative answer and this is my positive answer. So the root lies between 1 and 1.4. That is true because we verified. Now, I have bisection formula, that is half A plus B. So, what is A? A is 1 and what about B? It is 1.4. So, I am going to substitute x1 equal to 1 plus 1.4 divided by 2. So, I will get 1.2. Now, I am going to substitute this answer in my f of x1. When I substitute, I will get 0.14. It's a positive number. If it is positive number, what I want to do? I want to keep A as it is. That means I am not going to touch A. So, what is A? A is 1. So, I am not going to touch A. And what I am going to do? I am going to replace B by x1. So, what is x1 here? That is 1.2. Now, in my second iteration, once again, this is my second iteration. Now, once again, I am going to substitute bisection formula and I am going to get the answer 1.1. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to substitute this one in my f of x, and when I substitute, I'll get minus 0.096, which is once again negative number. So if it is negative number, I want to change A and B remains as it is. So what is A now? That is my x2. What is x2? That is 1.1. And what about B? B remains as it is, that is 1.2. And I'm going to continue like this, and in my third iteration, I'm going to get 1.5. In my fourth iteration, I'm going to get 1.125, and in my fifth iteration, sixth iteration, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And see, dear student, when I'm going to stop the iteration, see, in the question they mentioned that when I get 3 decimal points same. See, if I consider 9th iteration and if I consider 10th iteration, see, after dot 1, 4, 6. Here also 1, 4, 6. So, the 3 decimal point will have same number, so that I can able to stop my iteration. So how many iteration I am going to carry? Till 10. So what is iteration? That is looping or repeating. I am going to repeat the same process until I get exact root. So this is the way I can able to apply bisection method. Now, dear student, my another type of iterative method, that is regular falsie method, or I can able to use false position method or falsie method. So what is my second type of iteration method? That is regular falsie or false position or falsie method. And what is the formula I have here? That is x equal to a f of b minus b into f of a divided by f of b minus f of a. So dear student, you have to remember this formula, because if I want to solve any problem by using regular falsie method, then you have to remember this formula. So what's the formula here? A into f of b minus b into f of a divided by f of b minus f of a. Anyway, dear student, while solving the problem, I'm going to explain what is A, what is f of A, what is B, what is f of B. Along with, I'm going to explain what is x. At present, you just remember this formula. While solving the problems, I'm going to tell what is A, what is f of A, what is B, what is f of B, as well as x. Now, I'm going to have my first question under this type. Use the regular falsie method, or I can able to use regular falsie method to find out a real root of the equation. And what's the equation I have here? That is x cube minus 2x minus 5 equal to 0, and correct to 3 decimal place. When I want to stop the iteration, when I get in my both the iteration, I get same value, then I want to stop the iteration. Now what I want to do, here they did not mention where the root lies. So they did not mention where the root lies. So what I want to do? I want to use trial and error method. That means start substituting x value by 0, 1, 2 and so on. Now let me to solve this question. So I'm going to have the solution. That is, first what I want to do, I want to write this equation in the form of f of x. So what I will do, I'm going to write this equation in the form of f of x. Now what I want to do, I want to start substituting x value. So what I will do, initially x equal to 0, and when I substitute x equal to 0, I will get the answer -5. So it is negative number. Now what I'm going to do, in the next time, x is 1, and when I substitute 1, I'm going to get -6 answer. Once again, it is negative number. Now, what I'm going to do? I'm going to substitute x equal to 2, and when I substitute x value equal to 2 in my equation, I'll get the answer -1. Once again, it is negative number. So what I want to do? Once again, substitute x equal to 3. And when I substitute x equal to 3 in my equation, I'm going to get the answer 16. So it is my positive number. Now I'm going to write the conclusion that the real root lies in 2 and 3. So the real root lies in 2 and 3. So I got A value and I got B value. So this is my A and this is my B. And what is f of A? See here, when I got negative value, that means when I substitute x equal to 2, I got -1. So this is my f of A. So this is my f of A, -1. Then what about B? When I got positive value, that means when my second root I got, and whatever the value I got, this is my f of B. So what is f of B? It is 16. Now dear student, if I consider bisection method, I have the formula half A plus B. That means whatever the root I'm going to get, I'm going to start applying bisection formula. But here we got the root that lies between 2, 3. Now what I'm going to do? I'm going to consider 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 because I know my root lies between 2 and 3. In between, I want to get my root. So what I will do? First time I'll start with 2.1, next time 2.2, 2.3 and I'll continue up to 3. So it may be observed that the value of f of x at x equal to 2, which is -1, and when it is f of 3, it is positive 6. And we shall have the interval, that is a comma b, for applying the method such as a minus b is small enough. Now see here what I will do. For the first time I'm going to take 2.1. Once again I'm going to start with trial and error method because I know root lies between 2 and 3, but I don't know exactly. For that I'm going to start from 2.1. Now I have the equation and I'm going to substitute. When I substitute, I'm going to get the answer positive. So I'm going to get the answer positive. Now, so dear student, when I substitute the answer in my f of x, and if I get positive answer, what I want to do? In my bisection method, I have discussed that if f of x greater than 0, then it is positive number. So what I want to do? A remains as it is and I am going to change B. If f of x less than 0, then it is negative number. What I want to do? I want to change A with X and B remains same. So you have to remember this condition here also. So it is positive number. Now what I want to do? If it is positive, A remains as it is. So what is A here? A is 2. So A remains as it is. But what about B? I'm going to replace B by X. So what is X here? It is 2.1. So when X equal to 2.1, I got f of 2.1 is 0.061. So it is my A and this is my B. Now dear student, in my formula, see, this is my regular Falsie formula. So what are the things I want to consider here? I have A, I have f of B, B, f of A divided by f of B and f of A. So I must have A value, along with that I must have B value, along with that I must have f of A value. So what is A here? A is 2. And what is f of A? Dear students, see here. When A is 2, what is f of A? That is -1. That means when A value is 2 and when I substitute 2 in the given equation, I got -1. So this is my f of A. So this is my f of A. So f of A, that is f of 2 is -1. Now what is B? Here B is 2.1 and what about f of B? That means when I substitute f of 2.1, I got 0.061. So it is 0.061. Now I have the formula and I am going to substitute. So dear student, to find out the solution, it's better to use calculator and use scientific calculator. And when I substitute the formula and when I find out x1, I'm going to get the answer 2.0942. Okay, now I'm going to consider this value for my second iteration. So in step 2, this is my second iteration. So this is my x1. This is my x1. So f of x1 and I'm going to substitute in my equation. So when I substitute this 2.0942 in my equation, I'm going to get the answer, that is -0.00392, which is greater than 0. Is it greater than 0? No, it is not greater than 0. So it is a negative number and it is less than 0. If it is less than 0, what I want to do? I want to modify A value with the x value. So whatever the previous x value I got, that is my A value and B remains as it is. So when I'm getting negative value, what I'm going to do? I'm just going to modify the A value and B remains as it is. In the sense, I'm not going to touch B. So I'm going to change A value. Now A is my x value. Now see here, when A is 2.0942, what is f of A? F of A is -0.00392. What is B value? That is my previous B value. So B is 2.1. What about f of B? That is 0.061. Now, what I'm going to do? I'm going to substitute this one in my regular Falsie formula. See here, It is f of b. F of b. Now, b f of a whole divided by f of b minus f of a. Now, I'm going to get the answer 2.09455. So, this is my x value for my next iteration. So, dear student, in the question, they mentioned that when I want to stop my iteration, that is correct to 3 decimal place. So, they did not mention when I want to stop my iteration. And what they mentioned, I want to stop when I have 3 correct value. See here, if I consider previous x value. So, what is previous x value? It is 2.0942. This is my x1. And if I consider present x2 value, it is 2.09455. Now, in the question, they mentioned that in my both the iteration, if I have same value in my 3 decimal place, see here, this is my first decimal place, second decimal place and third decimal place. And if I consider second value, that is first place, second place and third place, I have same value. Here also I have same value. So, I can able to stop the iteration. In some question, directly they are going to specify that when to stop. That is third iteration, fifth iteration or 11th iteration, etc. If they are going to mention correct to 3 decimal place, in that whatever the answer I am going to get, in that I want to consider the decimal place. If they mention 3 decimal place, then consider 3 decimal place. If 4, then consider 4 decimal place. Anyway, dear student, this is one example for your regular falsie method or false position method or falsie method. Anyway, dear student, in my next session, once again, I am going to discuss few more problems or question from this regular falsie method. Anyway, dear student, let's meet in the next session with some more worked example. Until that, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.